Yo, what's going on guys? HyperX here, and today I want to talk about Halo Infinite because this week we've got quite a lot of new information surrounding this title. Firstly, on Sunday we of course got a look at the brand new gameplay from Xbox's showcase, and then just the other day we got an extended look at the multiplayer, taking a look at some of the new systems, some of the customization, vehicles, weapons, a load of cool things basically. And Halo multiplayer is definitely something that I am excited to be jumping into, so today I thought I'd break down or kind of just highlight a few cool things that are definitely worth talking about, things worth getting excited about if you guys missed out the other day. So 8 things to look forward to in Halo Infinite multiplayer. So if you guys do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated, and let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this so far. From the gameplay we've seen, is this getting you excited? Are you a Halo fan, or is this still one of those things where you want to see more before you make your mind up? Either way, to begin with, I want to start off with something right at the top, which is just kind of cool, but of course is a big customization aspect, and that is actually a custom AI. So of course, in Halo, you'll all be familiar with Cortana, of course, your primary AI, but in multiplayer, you can actually have a custom AI, and in doing this, it'll allow you to basically pick and choose different voices to effectively match the style that, that you prefer, the kind of voice. Think of it like picking a sat-nav voice, so to speak. You find the one or the tone that resonates best with you, and you can basically bring this into the battlefield, so whenever you're playing in the game and you get your typical AI prompts, things like, hey, somebody's taken the flag, or other sort of moment-to-moment updates, these can all be presented and sort of like narrated to you in custom voices that can all be sort of changed out in the Armor Hall. Armor Hall is one of the places you'll go to basically customize your Spartan, so having your own custom AI is brand new for the series, and assuming that is sort of going to tie into things that you can unlock, things that you can kind of work towards in a sort of progression manner, then that's actually going to be pretty cool to pursue. However, on top of that, speaking about customization, there is going to be a ton of armor customization this time around. In fact, according to Ryan Paradis, he said there will be quote-unquote millions of customization options for Spartans on the battlefield. You'll have armor customizations, including things like different coatings, emblems, effects, and all of your typical individual armor pieces like shoulders, gloves, knee pads, helmets, and visors. On top of that, there will also be weapon customization, allowing for sort of a variety of different, skins and things like that you can apply to them, and some of that can even extend to certain vehicles as well. And when it comes to doing customizations, you can actually do this both in-game, in the Armor Hall, as well as on the mobile application. So if you happen to just be sitting on the toilet and you're like, you know what, I've got a good idea for my new Spartan, you can customize that on your phone. However, it even goes one step further. You not only have like your external customizations, but for the first time you can also pick different sort of prosthetic limbs. So if you want to swap out, say, arms and legs and things like that, that is also an option. And there will be plenty of things to unlock, and we'll touch on that in just a moment. But moving on from there, of course, it wouldn't be Halo if you don't talk about weapons, and a lot of the classic Halo weapons are of course returning, including the assault rifle, the battle rifle, the grav hammer, the needler, plasma pistol, even sticky plasma grenades, all the things that you know and love from Halo. There'll be a variety of heavy weapons, and one of the ones that was demonstrated in the trailer can of course take out vehicles very easily. It is worth noting dual wielding will not be supported at launch, but 343 did say they're not going to be rolling it out entirely. However, on top of that, equipment will also be making a return in Halo. However, it functions ever so slightly differently this time around. So when it comes to things like overshields or camo, as opposed to just picking it up and having it activate instantly, you now have it as sort of like a consumable item in that it goes into your inventory and you can then activate it when you want it. Or, of course, if you die, then you drop it and somebody else can pick it up. So that will, of course, be pretty useful from like a tactical point of view. And that will also go hand in hand with, say, the new grappling hook, which, I said it before, this is basically the year of the grappling hook. But honestly, seeing this being used in combat is so incredibly cool. Being able to use a grappling hook to just get across the stage, to pull weapons towards you, you can tell there are going to be some epic moments in gameplay. I just can't wait to see the madness that people pull off using this item. However, on top of that, there are of course plenty of vehicles to mess around with, some of the sort of fan favourites, familiar ones that you'll of course be very used to, but they did also show off the Razorback, which is basically like a cousin to the classic Warthog. It's bigger, beefier, slightly more armoured. This one has the capacity to carry a lot more people, a lot more items, plus you can even put like power weapons on the back, which is kind of pretty awesome. It's just sort of like a big old sort of transportation unit, so that much is going to be nice for sort of working around in team play. But on top of that, they said they introduced this sort of new Doomsday style mechanic where when a vehicle takes so much damage, it kind of sets on fire, and then you have a limited time upon which you need to decide what you want to do, whether you bail out the vehicle, whether you make a last ditch attempt to try and make a sort of kill before it explodes into like a massive ball of flames. Also on the damage front, it's worth noting that things like the wheels and other things like the bonnet can also come off as well, and in doing this it will actually alter the way that the vehicles will handle. So of course if your back wheel just happens to pop, then it's going to be distinctly more difficult to control that around the battlefield. Now, following on from there, I'm sure a lot of you guys are, Halo veterans out there. However, if some of you are watching this and thinking you're going to sort of jump in for the very first time, then for new players, there's actually the Academy and the training area in multiplayer. So if you're new to the series, then you can kind of go in here to not only get a feel for, the controls, how things play, test out different items, but it'll also introduce you to the different terminology typically used in the game, so you know sort of what to expect, what sort of callouts mean. And you can then also add bots into this section with varying difficulties, so you can actually use this as a genuine place to go and begin practicing, begin training, and honing your skills. Now, going back for a minute to speak about some of the customization I mentioned earlier, of course, Halo Infinite is going to be having a battle pass because if you missed the information, Halo Infinite multiplayer is going to be free to play. So while, of course, if you want to experience the story campaign, you will need to buy the game, if you want to play multiplayer, it is going to be completely free to play, which is fantastic because it means that so many more people can try it out. But of course, as is to be expected, whenever you have a free to play game, there is typically some sort of battle pass model. However, it is worth noting because sometimes when you say things like battle pass, that does sound alarm bells. First things first, 343 confirmed there will definitely be no loot boxes, but more importantly, the way the battle pass works in this game is actually incredibly good because of course a lot of the time in battle passes you jump in for a season, you make as much progress as you can, and then once that finishes you move on to the next battle pass. If you miss it because you're away on holiday or something, it kind of sucks. However, in Halo Infinite, they said that the Battle Pass, once you've acquired it, you can basically progress in it forever. There is no limit to it. And if you happen to miss a Battle Pass, again, let's say you're on holiday or you're away, then when the new season comes around, you can still buy an old Battle Pass that you might have missed, and then you simply select the one that you want, and your progress begins working towards that. So if there was one of them that had like a really cool armor set, you're like, no, I missed it. You simply pick it up, and instead you're like, you know what, this season I'm going to work to the last Battle Pass instead. And you can do that, which is fantastic. They also confirmed that, of course, everything in game is, all the kind of different customizations are cosmetic. There'll be no like power buying or anything like that. And they said that most of the things that you're kind of like going to be pursuing are all going to be earned through gameplay. So, you're not going to be out there sort of purchasing loads of the cool stuff. Most of it is just simply going to come from playing the game. For example, the sort of awesome badass samurai armor set they showed off, they said that that is one of the seasonal armor sets that you'll get once the multiplayer launches. So yeah, the actual Battle Pass integration does sound really, really good. Considering sort of the way that some of the Battle Pass have been handled in other games, at least from what they've told us so far. We do still, of course, need to wait and see how it's actually implemented, but from the information they've shared, it definitely sounds like they've thought this through. And then of course outside of that, for those of you that want to sort of play on different platforms, keep in mind that Halo Infinite multiplayer is not only cross-play, but it is also cross-progression. So if you do decide that you want to, say, jump on PC and then move over to, say, console to play with some friends, then obviously you can just do that through cross-play, but you can also just like share your progress depending on wherever you're playing. So that much is pretty awesome. So for the time being, as you can see, it's looking pretty cool. I mean, obviously, if you are a Halo fan, then it definitely looks very Halo. If you are new to the game, then there's definitely a lot of sort of fun to be had and sort of jumping into this. So I do think the free-to-play aspect is going to be sort of great for people because if you're unsure, then, I mean, why not just check it out? That much is definitely going to be awesome. So as and when we find out more, I'll definitely keep you guys up to date because I am looking forward to jumping in and just messing around with this at the end of the year. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts down below and be sure to keep it locked for plenty more. If you want to catch more from us at HyperX Gaming, don't forget you can catch the guys 269 and Paradise Central streaming over on Twitch weekdays, playing a variety of games. If you guys want to jump in, tune in, watch, and even join in, then make sure you check them out. The links to those are in the description box down below. And of course, you can join the Discord to get involved in all of the discussions.